everyone. Welcome to Talkin Kop. It's finished Brentford, Liverpool 3, Brentford 0 in a nice routine win. You know, good performance. Matt's after Thursday night. Thank Christ for that, because Jesus Christ, the last two games were quite painful. So it was quite nice today.
Well, you could probably extend it to three straight games in three different competitions that we've put in pretty below par performances. So yeah, this was a nice stock standard home victory. Our unbelievable home form continues, and we got the result that we needed, because the way the results have gone so far this weekend, hopefully Chelsea can do us a favor here in the late kickoff. But this is a must-win game, so job done. Well done, Reds.
Yeah, Kev, that's one defeat now in 48 Premier League home games for Liverpool, which is ridiculous, to be honest. That's the level of form we're showing at home, which is why Liverpool are always in and around these conversations. You know, if we could just transfer some of this to a bit of the away form, we're really cooking on gas. But listen, if we talk about the lineups, Kev, people can lose their shit, as they often do on social media, and get really upset. We had 8 first-team options not available. Now, listen, one of those 8 is Thiago, who's not been available all season, and Pagetti's just barely played. But 6 more lads have dropped out today. We had no Gomez, which no one knew was a problem. No Canate. Still no Gravenberch. Still no Jones. McAllister suspended as well. And no Robbo. You're still going, oh, wow. You look at the bench going, there's literally 2 senior subs there. Well, 3 if you want to use the young Kwanzaa. You're going like, oh, the starting 11's going to have to do the job here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the first thing I think I said to you when I saw the lineups is the starting 11 have to do this today. The options, sometimes you look at it, you look at the starting 11, you're like, yeah, okay, who's on the bench? Okay, if it's not going well, X, Y, Z can come off the bench and affect the game. Today was definitely a case of the first 11 had to go and get a job done in this. And to be honest, when you looked at the 11, I was really looking forward to seeing how it was going to play, mainly because of Gakpo in that left-hand side 8 role. Delighted with the performance. If you get the performance, you'll get results. That's nailed out. It's very rare that you'll see us put in a really stonking good performance and not come away with 3 points. One follows the other. And, the performance today was really good. Had its shady moments in it, but you know what? Brentford are on the back of 3 wins on the bounce, playing well, a good side, a very good professional Premier League mid-table side, effective at certain things in how they attack games, with some really good forwards. And this was a game we had to be on it from start to finish. From start to finish, we were on it, and we were. As we get into chat about the game itself, but there was so much about the performance that I really, really loved seeing that we didn't see in the last 2 games. It was night and day at points watching the 2 performances from Thursday night to today. Night and day.
Very much so. I mean, listen, we did what we didn't do against Luton, wasn't it, Matt? You earned the right to play, which is Brentford on our side, you should be beaten at home. Listen, they haven't actually won at Anfield since 1936. So, our record at home to Brentford is very, very good. But we've seen all the wins at home to Brentford. You have to work your bollocks off. Brentford do not make it easy. Brentford are a difficult side and cause plenty of sides difficulties. I think they're on 3 in the bounce. So we all knew we had to be wide awake. And listen, I don't know about you, Matt, before we knew the injuries, we probably thought Canate would start to give Matip a rest. There was a debate at left back. A few could ask me about Costas. We'll come to him. I have no problem praising someone who plays well. And, midfield, then you're going, before the Toulouse game, I think we were all probably all right with Endo playing. After the Toulouse game, I don't know about you, we were a bit like, oh, fucking hell. Which Endo are we going to get here? And then, listen, the only thing we were all certain about was the attack. Because it's just like, which one of the 5 do you want to pick? Because that's all good.
Yeah, not so much a concern when it comes to the attack. It's more just like an absolute feast of options for us in terms of what's going forward. I mean, I, for one, was leaning more towards the Gomez camp. So finding out that he was injured and unavailable, that was a bit of a kick in the knackers. And I'm not going to lie, through the first half, I felt like it was playing out exactly as I expected, because just to jump ahead, I thought Tsimikas was dreadful in the first half. I thought he was dreadful. I was screaming at my TV every time the ball went to him. Slow on the ball, slow in possession, no thrust going forward. And color me foolish when he ends up with 2 assists and a clean sheet. So for all the FPL Simicast owners out there, you had a very, very good day. But Gakpo in the 8, I thought was going to happen. That was my predicted lineup, just because we're so short of bodies there. Somehow, all of a sudden, we went through this after the show on Thursday. And I thought he acquitted himself quite well. And then I thought Endo had quite a good game in there. So, yeah, but it was definitely one of the ones, like you guys said, where we needed to win it with the players that were on the pitch. Condolences to my wife's fantasy league, who she had Diaz captain and he started on the bench. So that's always a funny way to see the lineups come out when she's cursing her luck.
I thought Gakpo was very genie today. Did you not think, Kev?
I like him in that 8 role. I like him there because I think the game's in front of him. He's technically a very good player. Him and Gravenberch are very, very similar in how they play that role. Gravenberch has probably got a bit more of a defensive nous about him. But if you want someone in that left-sided 8 role to put their foot on the ball and take it forward, carry it 30 yards and attract others to come to him so he can lay it off, he's perfect at it. I think he's better at doing that than he is in the 9 if you're asking him to stay up as a 9. If he plays in a 9 role, he drops off. He's a false 9. So why not give him the role if the option is there to let him play in midfield? You're going to dominate the ball anyway. Let him have the game in front of him so that he can attack the ball and attack the players going forward rather than have to come short, trap it, turn and go. I was really happy. He was the one that I really wanted to see how he got on in there, because last season I liked him in that role. And he did well when he got forward, start scoring goals and what have you, but I still think he's probably better to us as an 8 who can attack rather than a 9 who drops off. I think he suits the way we want to play better doing what he did today. And having that option of having a forward who can do that and do it comfortably is a great asset for the club. The only thing I'd say about Endo, he likes a second on the ball. He likes to get his foot on the ball, lift his head, and pick a pass. And he just takes half a second or a second, where other players like McAllister will take it and move it faster. That's about my only gripe with him, but it's a mini gripe. I thought he was efficient. He was good. He's very good in the air. He's kind of like he loves a header. He's like a midfield version of Jota. Jota's brilliant in the air from the front. Endo is 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". He's brilliant in the air, and he just gets in great positions and gets good power on clearing headers as well. But yeah, he's still learning the club. I mean, he's 30 years of age. He's experienced enough. He's been around the block, but he's never ever played football at this level, and he's still learning this. And in fairness, I hazard a guess that midfield 3 has never played together outside of a training session here and there.
How many times we said that? How many times we said that this year?
Yeah, and that's
every game.
Every game. We haven't played this combo before.
But that's the whole thing everyone needs to start keeping in the back of their mind, is that this is a work in progress. This is nowhere near the finished article. Even by the end of this season, this squad is nowhere near where it's going to finish up. I think it can achieve stuff this season. I think we'll win stuff this season. But this is the start of something rather than culminating to the end of a cycle. This is the start of a new cycle. And it's very, very rare that you complete virtually a whole midfield rebuild and look at the Premier League table this far into the season and we are where we are. That just doesn't happen. That's right up there for me as an achievement so far this season. We're doing well despite the hiccups we've had along the way. Today was another example of it. It was I enjoyed the game. It was an entertaining. I'm looking forward to watching it again on Match of the Day tonight, because there was so much action in it. So many things happened. So many talking points. And if you can take the red tinted glasses off for a bit, there were positives. They had chances. There was positives and negatives. We had to grind that today. The scoreline reflects a soft 3-0 home routine win. It was anything but. We had to work hard to get that win, and we deserved it. We deserved all 3 points. But Thomas Frank will come out of that, and he'll he'll find positives in that for Brentford as well.
Should we talk about Costas? Because I'll be honest, a lot of the chats hear my opinion on him. Because there is a perception that I, as Kev found out hilariously yesterday, we have had one comment that thought I was quite made up. We got beat by Toulouse, so I could slag off players, which is a new one. That's a new one I've been accused of. But,
that's a different one.
That's a different one. It's not true. Look, my opinion of Costa quite simple. Do I rate him? No. What did I think of today? Do you know, I thought he was fine today. I know what Matt was saying. I think when he gets himself in trouble is where he tries to hold someone off, to do the layoff, and he's a bit slow at doing that.
He dawdles on the ball.
Yeah. But one thing he did today in the first half, and he did a lot more in the second half, which he hasn't been doing for the last 3 or 4 games, we wonder if he was under instruction, is as soon as he gets the ball, he got out of his feet and tried to whip across it, which is his strength. So play to his strength. But I thought second half, I thought second half he was really good. We'll talk about his assists, especially the first one. I think the first one, that is all about determination and kind of basically what we've accused, not so because quite a few players of not having in the last couple of games. So, I thought he was fine. Do I think he's the long-term answer for us at left back? Absolutely not. But if he plays like that until Robbo's back, we'll be sound. But that's how I saw it. I thought he was fine. I can't say he was dreadful because he wasn't. And I'm not going to sit here and find the agenda to say someone was crap when they weren't. I thought he was fine. And to be fair, by the sounds of it, I'm more positive than Matt. You know what I mean? So,
I'll run through my Simicast moments from the first half. 17th minute, he goes forward with the ball. He loses it. It's a Brentford break. Van Dijk and Matip cover well to clean it up. The ball falls to Trent. He's a little lax on it. And Mbeumo has a shot that he skies over. Good chance for them. 19th minute, Simicast, short pass, intercepted by Brentford. They're off and on the break. His corner delivery was pretty poor all day. He had 3 or 4 opportunities on the corner. I'm just going to skip a couple of things to get to the 32nd minute. I just have written down fucking Simicast giving ball away just inside their half, and we're under pressure again. I believe it was also from Simicast. No, I'm not entirely sure. But in the 31st minute, Alisson Becker, just when we need him the absolute most, the game is not really, no team is really dominant at about the 30th minute. I mean, the 21st minute, we have the goal. It's clearly offside for Darwin. Very cool finish for him to be calm and composed. We've seen him miss from that spot. It's a good shot that's saved, and it falls right at his feet. He puts it in the back of the net, but he's offside. But somehow Brentford get the ball. Mbeumo's in. One pass. It's a breakaway. It's a one-on-one. Yeah. Trent's chasing him back. It forces him to shift the ball to his left, and Alisson just does Alisson things. Oh,
yeah. Kev, that's the important thing is, yes, it's a 3-0 win, and yes, Liverpool deservedly won. But, let's call it as it is. Brentford give some scares, and that's not all down to inept defending by Liverpool. Brentford just know how to know their game and know how to work it. They've done it to teams just as good as us. And the thing that people don't realise, perhaps when they look at the league table, is Liverpool and Arsenal have the second best defences in the league. The only team who conceded less is City. City conceded 8, we conceded 10, same as Arsenal. So as frustrating as some of these drop points are, or silly goals you can see, you're going, there's a lot of other clubs who have actually got bigger defensive problems than we perceive we have. Sometimes when you go out your Liverpool bubble, you're going, it's maybe not as bad as sometimes we think it is. It's not. Could it be improved? Yeah, pretty much so.
Yeah.
But can we talk about Darwin though, because he's not scored. I mean, listen, his 2 finishes for his offside goals are class, and his first one is very, very tight. It's just off. The second one's miles off, but it's a lovely finish. But again, we're seeing from Darwin another all-round centre-forward performance, and capped off by. And listen, dickheads on social media won't clip this because it's not something they can laugh at. But the assist for Mo's goal, class centre-forward play.
It's exactly what you want, and he gives you that option of being able to play a centre forward and play a wide forward role in the same movement. He's comfortable in either area. I was gutted for him on the first goal because he was alive to it, and it was a good finish. And he was a fraction offside. It was tight. It was one of those ones with the naked eye. It was tight. Linesman gave it straight away. So VAR, no VAR, it was going to be given offside.
Yeah.
But again, it was a composed finish. And it was the kind of finish that if it was Jota, you'd be eulogizing about a poacher striker. A poacher's goal. That's a typical Jota place to be. The ball in from Trent from Mo's goal the composure to take that and turn it and have the peripheral vision to see. Well, he knows Mo is going to be there, but it's still, you still have to have the weight of pass to lay it off and the strength to hold off a centre back at the same time. Lay it off, and Mo's touch and finish was sublime.
I believe Andrew Beasley said that's his 7th assist of the season, all to Mo Salah. That connection is just ridiculous with them two.
There was an awful lot of things in that first half, Matt. You were going on about Costas there, and yeah, he gave the ball away. But the thing I really loved about the first half as compared to the first half against Luton was we were progressive and we were trying to force it and we were trying to make things happen, as opposed to the Luton game and the Toulouse game where we were keeping possession for the sake of it and passing the ball off in the hope that someone else is going to do something. The amount of times that Trent got the ball in midfield and looked for a chipped cross from central, looking for Jota to make a run. He tried that 5 or 6 times and it was on every single time. It never worked, but he didn't stop trying it. Same with Darwin. Darwin's movement into the box, looking for balls in over the top, was brilliant to see. That's why I looked at that performance in the first half. If it went in 0-0, I was so relaxed that the goals were coming. You know, the fact that it went 1-0 up, I was as long as we don't get stupid, and you always want the security of a second, but I was so relaxed in the way we were playing. The intent that we had going forward for me was so much better than I've seen in the last few performances. It was exactly what you want to see. And we need to see that as a regular. That has to be normal now. Genuinely.
Well, I was quite relaxed once we were 1-0 up at half-time. We'll talk about the goal in a minute, Matt, because I believe Kev told me this. We haven't lost a Premier League game when we've led at half-time since 2009.
Yeah.
Which was Bournemouth away, the mad 4-3.
Arsenal.
And, Arsenal was it, sorry.
Arsenal 2-1.
So it was that. And then so far this season, we have taken the lead 6 times in 6 games. We've taken the lead first. All 6 we've won. So this is a side that definitely knows, despite what perception is, when we take a lead, we know how to control it. It's just trying to cut out some of these silly goals. But listen, the Mo Salah goal is very typical Mo Salah. Gets in his left foot, bends in bottom corner, keeping no chance. That made it 199 goals in England, 2 for Chelsea, 197 for Liverpool. So
for Liverpool, yeah,
outrageous. So obviously we'll talk about it a second a bit later. But
yeah,
just
one thing though. 2 minutes before that, Joel Matip gets booked. For being fouled. He was fucking fouled, and it was the most. If you're on Matt, you're not on Twitter, but Chris, you are.
It's
no
brilliant.
Context. Joel Matip is going to have fun and games with that reaction for the rest of the season.
Neil Jones straight away. Neil Jones straight away. He goes, "Told you he was fuming." I mean, Matt, if you ever decide to get on social media, just follow No Context Joel Matip just for his reactions, whether he's being foul, or he's just doing all these silly stuff. Hey,
bonking somebody on the head.
Yeah. That one with Henderson, when he just goes back and he just shows his silly smile he has. Do you know what? If you're having a shit day, Joel Matip's just got that way of just making you smile. But to be honest, his reaction in that video was all us because it's fucking Paul Tierney. It's absolute Paul Tierney.
It was because Matip was actually fouled. 100%. He won the ball. Your man come in on top of Matip, and Matip gets the free kick against him. That's why he was fuming. It was like you don't often see him lose his rag, but
no,
I mean that was that's what that's why he got booked. He got booked for the reaction. But what a reaction!
He definitely got booked for the foul. You can see the referee. You can see the lad. You can see dickhead Tierney going. You went through it. Yellow. And that's why he flipped out even more. He went, what?
Oh, my comm said the yellow was for dissent because they were blown away that it was even a foul by Matt.
I mean, you know it's bad because I think Klopp just tried to put his whole head inside his coat so he couldn't say anything, just so he could zip up and go, now.
It's 100,000 pound tongue biting by your.
They're dying for Klopp to get another ban. And Bolton, you could just see as soon as I think Klopp sat down, he was like, "I'm just going to sit down because if I say something, I'm going to be banned for 6 months. I can't say it."
Yeah, but to go back to the goal, I think we got to go back just a couple of moments before the ball by Trent in. Joel Matip coming up from defense, getting stuck in, winning that ball back in midfield. It goes to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai puts it off to Trent. And I thought Trent had a very quietly impressive game today. Some of his passing was really good. The 26th minute, he played one of those grass cutter diagonal balls to Tsimikas that was just like prime Trent Alexander-Arnold passing. But the work by Matip for that goal, it's very reminiscent of McAllister's work winning the ball in midfield a couple of games ago. They're all starting to blur together at one point for me now. But, I mean, that's exactly how we want to be when the ball's there to be won. Snapping into tackles, outnumbering men around the ball so that when the ball just pops out loose, we got Szoboszlai there to put it to Trent, and then bang, bang, bang. Like a laser beam of a pass into Darwin Núñez, who controls it well for a guy that apparently has no first touch. And what a pass to Mo Salah. I mean, those two guys, the connection between those two is hopefully enough to get Mo Salah to sign another contract extension and stay for another couple of years, because it seems like they love playing together. But that goal was huge. Huge. Too many times this season we've been giving up the first goal. Like you said, 6 times we've taken the lead. We've gone on to win all of those games. So for us, it's so important to get that first goal. Going in 1-0 at halftime. Happy days.
Reminds me of Kev, before we signed Mo, it's Simon Roma. Him and Zeko loved playing together.
Yeah.
You know, listen, the front three we had was immense. We all know that front three was immense, but clearly this style of play also suits Mo, having a big man to play off. It just suits him. You know,
it's a part of his game that is ignored a lot. Is his passing range around the box, his vision, his ability to find a pass, to lay it in. And he could have had a few today. He could have had a few assists today that just didn't quite go right. But he was, for how bad he was against Luton, and he was awful, he was good today. You know, he wasn't anywhere near his best, but it looked like he grew in confidence with the type of football that we were playing, because the next chance was always coming. There was always another chance around the corner. Every time we attacked, we looked like we were going to create another opportunity. And bouncing into halftime, absolutely delighted.
Just seen the Man City has got a penalty. A lot of people say it's so soft, but I'll be honest, you could have why have you got your arms around the fella's waist? Stupid. Just
because Haaland's grabbing him by the shirt collar the second before he goes by him. Haaland doesn't get by him if he doesn't yank him back by the shirt collar. I don't know what VAR is looking at here, but they're going back and back and back. Maybe there was a handball in the previous game and they can go ahead and chalk that off.
Possibly, because there was quite a few VAR decisions. We'll come to them in a minute. So look, half time, 0-0, all good. Sorry, 1-0, all good. 1-0, all good.
Don't take it away. Don't take it away.
Sorry, I went for Paul Tierney then. Just take it off for shits and giggles. Just coming as well. I think they make a change at half time in centre mid.
Onyeka for Janelt.
Yeah, I mean Janelt's a good player, so I'm assuming that's more of an injury than a tactical change, because he's not one that normally comes off the level. I wouldn't have thought. But it was quite tough after that. You know, look, Brentford just made it difficult for us. But I suppose the big talking point is it probably the Endo tackle?
54 minutes, yeah. The Endo VAR red card check.
Now, for what I've read from Brentford manager, I don't think he's losing his shit as such, but I think he's basically said, if you look at the red cards given for Jones, for I think it's the Chelsea centre-back, and Rashford in the Champions League, he goes, that is very similar. So I don't know why that's not given. Now, me, Kev, we said, that's an old school 50-50, but these days, you're lucky if you get away with it. It felt like one of those that if the ref had give a red card on the field, I don't think VAR overturns it. I don't think he's gone too over the ball, but I could see why. No. If it was reversed, I can see why you'd scream and shout for it. But it felt like a yellow to me.
Well, Matt, you go ahead.
But I think the only way you can give a red card in that situation with Endo is to give red cards to both players. If you deem what Endo did was a red card tackle because his studs were showing and it hit the other player on the leg, the exact same thing happened from the Brentford player onto Endo. So if you want to give a red card for something like that, which is a genuine 50-50, no malice, it wasn't dangerous. Nobody was out of control. Nobody was flying in, recklessly or anything like that. It's 1-0 City. Fuck. to me, that was the only way that could be a red card. I couldn't believe it took them that long to check it. But at the same time, my heart was definitely in my throat because who knows what a red card is anymore? Who knows what a handball is? Who knows what phases of play are anymore? I mean, apparently you can give penalties for just about anything in the Premier League now. So yeah, it was a heart and mouth moment, but for me, never a red card unless you're going to card them both.
Yeah, look, I think the only thing I'd add to it, you often see with players when they have a bad first touch and they lunge to get the ball back, they usually go and you find that their lead leg is straight and it goes into the tackle, and then you could definitely say it's a red card. If you go into a tackle with a straight leg and studs up, you deserve a red card. He didn't. He was lucky that when he tackled, he was smart.
It's more of a side
foot. Yeah, it goes side, and his knee and his leg fold with the impact. So you can tell there's no force and no intensity behind it. But I said to you, Chris, while the game was going on, if this is given in this day and age, that's a picture in the book of I've seen them given. And I have seen them given. And Thomas Frank is right. The fact that they have given red cards arguably for less. And I thought that Endo was going to be walking a tightrope for the rest of the game after that. But credit where it's due. He handled the rest of the game really well.
What he did, which he did do very well in France, so again, this is a player learning his role, is he should have been booked earlier on. Within 5 minutes, he gets booked. And 5 minutes later, he does it again. So you haven't seen the crime too many times, where eventually you're thinking you're just going to target it for the next tackle. The good thing for Endo then, for the next 10 minutes, you didn't see like any sort of big 50-50s, any silly tackles. It was all keeping it nice, keeping it simple. Basically, so you're not talking. Do you know, they're not the same player. But that's something the likes of Rodri, Fernandinho were very good at, which is they would give away 10, 12, 15 fouls a game. Because they're so spread so far apart, it takes a while for the accumulation thing. We just know that's how it is. Yeah. Whereas like Jota at Tottenham, it was foul in 5 minutes. Whether you agree with the fouls now, but you're in the ref's eye twice in 5 minutes, you're knackered. So that's where I thought Endo handled himself better, really. So let's talk about the build to the second goal, because it was the perfect passage of play for Liverpool in terms of, Matt, there is a massive, massive Joel Matip block. It is a goal-stopping block. And literally within 30 seconds, we're up the other end, and Mo Salah's scoring. And I'll say it again, big credit to Tsimikas. He doesn't give up on the ball, and it's very a la Newcastle against Arsenal. The ball is just in play. Brentford stand and watch and just assume the linesman will give it out of play, and then the Mo header just like it's in slow motion. That's 200 goals in English football for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think a few of our players stopped thinking the ball was going to go out as well. Also, just before the goal, from a Brentford corner, Ethan Pinnock mans up Costa Tsimikas 1v1 and absolutely sends him for the Liverpool echo. And it was just like, what are you doing, Tsimikas? And then Lloyd, just when I think you can't get any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. Tsimikas is there. He keeps going, even though the ball looks like it's going out, pulls it back, and it's one of the most comical headers I've ever seen. Like, it's strange to see a little guy get both feet on the ground, no movement really at all, head the ball into the corner of the net. 1-1. Attaboy, Thiago Silva. Attaboy, Chelsea, draw level. But I mean, a hilarious goal. There's absolutely no question the ball was still in play. Like, it just was. There's no need to go full Arteta about it, and Thomas Frank.
But first replay, you can see it. I mean, to be fair, Thomas Frank actually, I think they've asked about the goal. He goes, "Yeah, I've seen it's in play. He basically went, we shouldn't stop." To be fair to him, Thomas Frank is normally he's not one for being outlandish and over the top when things go against him. Just look at this Thiago Silva. One second, I'm sure.
Oh, what a header! Glancing near post header from the corner. Beautifully done. Erling Haaland caught looking on the corner of the 6-yard box.
I'm just saying it now. Alisson saves that. But anyway, back to the goal. So, Kev, Mo Salah now has 200 goals, 200 league goals in English football. He has 198 for Liverpool. No, English, but 198 for Liverpool, 2 for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
He's the best right winger the Premier League has ever seen. He's up there with the best right winger I think that Liverpool have ever had. And
he's now he's in the conversation with Shearer and Henry now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in the conversation with Thierry on. If you're having a Premier League top 3 all-time great players, you're having a conversation and you're including Mo Salah in the conversation. 100% no doubt in my mind. The numbers this guy is producing from a player who never, ever really showed that he had this level of ability in his game. We all knew that he could provide assists, and we all knew that he could beat players for fun on the wing. But nobody ever thought that when we were signing him from Roma, that we were signing a guy who was going to put up numbers in this ridiculous fashion. He's obscene. He's obscene in what he does. Yeah, I was just doing my level best not to.
That's all right.
That's the good cat. That's the good cat.
And also, Oshin's correct. He now has 15 consecutive goal contributions at home. Only Shearer and Henry have done this before. He also has now scored or assisted in the opening 6 league games of the league, which has never happened by any Liverpool player ever.
Home games.
So,
he just puts out record after record.
Anybody like who in English football, who on the right wing, if you're making an all-time 11 and you're playing 4-3-3 and you have a right winger in there, like if you're playing 4-4-2, there's not really a spot for Mo in a 4-4-2. But if you're making an English football all-time 11, who gets in ahead of him at right wing? 200 goals from a right winger is outlandish. He's phenomenal.
There's nobody else for me.
Surely your front three for it. If you're doing an all-time Premier League front three, Henry left, Salah right, Shearer in the middle. That's it.
That's your front three.
That's it. That's your front three. But and listen, they've been great strikers. You know, everyone knows I'm a massive Ian Wright fan. I think he's amazing. On and off the pitch, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, but Ian Wright was never at the same level as an Alan Shearer.
But he's not on that level though. You know what Mo Salah is doing, and I'll say it no, if what people think. Is what people outside of Liverpool think Eden Hazard was. Eden Hazard was a brilliant player. He was not. He has never done what Mo Salah has done in a goal return and an assist return. He's never done it. You know, he's got more trophies because of who he's played for. And look, all credit to him. You know, he's talented enough. You played for a great Chelsea. You played for a great Real Madrid side. I have no problem with that. But individually, I'm taking Mo Salah every day of the week. If people don't like that,
I don't think anyone really with a straight football face would argue the toss. I mean, that header, I was only saying it the other week. He's crap with his head, and he is genuinely. You could tell that ball was just coming at him, and it was slow, and it was like, set my feet, get back, not it in, get far behind it, get it down. It was like he was talking himself through what he had to do to get the ball to there.
I think he's literally going like, I can't believe they're all leaving this. He's probably thinking, I'll let it, because you said by his reaction, he had to think, I think I'll rule this out, aren't they? It's out, and you're like, oh shit, it's given. Oh, get it. Good job, concentrated.
Because he never celebrated.
No, because he probably like goes thinking,
yeah, that looked out.
From his angle, he probably does look out. And you're like, so, you know, he's good at that. So, you know.
Yeah, a good shout here from Tarek, agreeing with you, Chris. He says Salah has also never kicked a ball boy in the stomach, whereas Eden Hazard has, which is one of the most garbage.
He hit the target, though, so you know.
Yeah. So, Kev, just before we get on with this, after having said that Mo's not very good with his head, can you just go ahead and tell us that he's not very good with his left foot either, just for our next Premier League game? That might be handy.
I'd like to see him do a bit more with his right foot, to be honest.
There you go.
A couple of more right foot, outside of the foot.
I've got to be honest, though.
Bendy banana shots to go in around the keeper would be nice, yeah.
The funny thing with Mo Salah is, as much as we say his right foot isn't his best foot, I still think he scored his best goal with his right foot, which is that one against City.
Yeah.
Still think that's his best goal, and it's on his weakest foot. which is unreal. So, right, before we start kind of talking about our 3-0 win, which is all right, we're quite enjoying it. We've also got memberships now. So $3.99 a month, and what the plan is, we're going to do 6 shows a week, and we're basically going to split them. Some are going to be on the free show like this, and then some will be behind the membership. But we had a bit of a members chat, was it Thursday night, which was all good fun. And going into this week, we've got a new series starting, which is going to go live on Tuesday for members only, and it's going to be talking about the year we won the title. So it's going to be me, Gav, and we'll try and get a different guest. I'll probably split it over about 6 shows and just sort of reminiscing of the Premier League winning season. And they will be available later for non-members as an audio download, but a bit further down the line. So listen, if you like what we do, it's $3.99 a month. As Kev says, it's the cost of more coffee a month. So if that,
it's not even the price of a pint in this country anymore.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, and even more exciting, Chris, is the return of Gav doing morning shows.
Oh,
so
yes.
Gav has got Tuesday and Thursday 10 a.m. Irish time shows lined up. So again, just a reminder for everybody that even if you don't want to become a member or you can't spring the $3.99 a month to become a member, everything's available for download afterwards. I can only speak for myself. I take in the majority of the Talkin Kop content as a podcast download afterwards. But those morning shows, because I remember I think it was 2 years ago now that Gav was doing his kind of morning update. Those were so much fun. So just get in there. Chelsea scored. It's 2-1. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
It's Big Red Raheem Sterling, everyone's favorite ex-Red.
That's right. But yeah, it's become a member to get involved in the chat for all those shows, because I mean the YouTube chat is where it's at. But if you can't or you miss a show, everything's available free for podcast download after the fact, so you will never miss any of our content on the Talkin Kop channel. That to me is the most important thing.
One thing I'm going to say though, every single one of you in the chat, after this game is finished, after this 4:30 game is finished, you're all under strict orders to get in a bath with wire wool and scrub yourselves, you dirty lot. Screaming Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea. You all need wire wool baths after this game, I swear to God. It's allowed for today only, but you all need wire wool baths after.
Well, we actually need Chelsea to win by 4, don't we? Because then we go top.
Oh, that is terrible defending by Vardiol.
I'm just saying, that's where we are, so, Quite
nice. £100 million defender.
I tell you, Kev, it's amazing how one result can flip people. Because me, Kev, we've seen the receiving end of these losses or draws at times, and we're just a top 4 race side. We're nowhere near this, and that, and the other. And now also we're going, it might be on.
Yeah,
I've been saying it since day 1 of the damn season. It is on.
The way I view the season is, it's just my opinion. So people agree with me. 13-14, where we finished second. No one expected Liverpool to win a title race. Liverpool didn't expect to win a title race. But when you get to November, December time, and you're that close, you go like, well, we didn't expect it, but we're in it. So believe you can do it. Go for it. Until it's impossible, you may as well believe you go for it. What's the punishment? Yeah. We won't win it. Shite this. We'll just get top 4. It's boring. Enjoy it. Embrace it. And also, this is with a brand new midfield. This is a new side. It's exciting. Right, Kev.
Yeah, I'm with Madge. Madge has said Monday and today it's been a weird week. Yeah, Madge, I'm with you. I swear, it's just when you're looking at other sides to do you a favor, and you're like, yeah, but do I really want them doing me a favor? It's like you take it begrudgingly, but it's like, you know what I mean?
To win a league, you need someone to do you a favor at some point.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, we did our own favors today, and they brought in the 3 subs in 72 minutes, and 2 minutes later, Diogo Jota off an assist from Costas, but this Costas just passed in the ball. This goal was all Diogo Jota. It was taking it on his right foot, making the space for himself, and bang, what a hit. It was a proper goal.
2 things on Diogo Jota. I mean, partly he's fit now, which is always helpful.
Yeah.
Do you feel that this season he's added a bit more to his game? That little dribble and finish across the keeper's becoming a bit of a a trademark this year. He's definitely more of a threat now outside the box than he was before. Before, we always used to know him as inside 6-yard box, he's a predator, header on his foot. He's added more to his game. I do sort of feel like as a player for us, he's very underrated. I think everyone goes, he can't do this in the build-up play. His link play's not good. His pass is not good with this. This he can't do this. He can't do that. And I'm going, yeah, but if the ball falls in the box, he's one of the ones I wanted to fall to because he always scores big goals and he always does everything that you want an attacker to do. Whether you play wide left or through the middle. This
is what squad depth gives you: competition for places. He's improved because he's been forced to improve because of the quality of the players that are around him, pushing him to improve. And yeah, he's fit. This is probably the first time he's been fit for a consistent period of time for a good while. And he looks strong. He looks healthy. He looks like he's enjoying his football. And he looks like he doesn't have the weight of the world on his shoulders if it doesn't go for him. He just looks confident.
I do think so, Kev. From the year we tried to win all 4, this time of year is Jota's year. November to February, in the year we tried to win all 4, it was all Diogo Jota from that period. He just loved that period. He scored goals, League Cups and everything. Some players, it's like the Fergie thing, which is, I was like, Berbatov was brilliant for United until about February, then you never saw him. And he was done then.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And while Jota's doing that, we're looking at Diaz now going, he's had a lot off the field to deal with. Do you know what, Diaz, you can just have the last 5 minutes. There's no pressure on you. But you'll start next. But when you come back, but you'll probably start City. It's nice to have that problem. It's nice to have that problem. But I do think people grossly underrate what he can do. I think the way of the world, we're too focused on what players can't do and not what the positives they give to that. There's a reason Diogo Jota is picked an awful lot. Yeah, I know Matt's a big fan of it.
I mean, he scores goals, and we are going to have a pretty important 4 or 5 game run in January where our most important attacking player goes off to try to win the African Cup of Nations. And
Correct.
Somebody's going to have to fill in that right wing berth. And it might be Diogo Jota. It might be Luis Diaz. Doak might see a few more minutes here and there, but it's going to be one of our 5 main attacking players. And if we can just keep ticking it over, I'm going to go back to something you guys said about needing other teams to do us favors. As it stands right now, we don't need favors from nobody. We win out, we win the rest of our games, we win the league. Like, that means you're still in the title race. When the thing is still in your hands, we've still got to play City twice, we still have to play Arsenal twice. It's in our hands to win. So that means you're in the shit. Sorry, Thor. Thor's noticing that I am, in fact, watching the Chelsea City game at the same time. Very observant of you.
So am I. Don't worry. I'm doing the same thing. Don't you worry.
But it's. I mean, just to get back to our game, I mean, it's 2 of the easiest assists for Kostas Tsimikas he'll ever get. So, I mean, good on him because I was furious with him at the half. He ends up picking up the 2 assists and helping us coast to a nice, easy 3-0 victory. But in and around that goal, we had some great team effort play from guys like 59th minute, Darwin Núñez busting back from center forward to break up a Brentford break. Shortly thereafter the goal,
but at least that one, Matt, after he broke it up, he passed it. He didn't just stop with, I've got that.
Yeah, sometimes you're so excited about the defensive contribution you just made that you have to stop and marvel at your work for a second. You forget that the game is still going on. But I mean,
funniest thing I've seen all season. That it's the
Wataru Endo makes great tackle in the 74th minute. 76th minute, starting at the 76th minute, Brentford had 5 corners within about 90 seconds. And on one of them, that ball, I don't know if it was going in or if it was going to fall to Neil Maupay to miss a wide open net at the back post. But Virgil van Dijk, and I mean, we got to talk about him at some point. Virgil van Dijk. Oh,
he's definitely
the difference it makes having a 95% prime Virgil van Dijk in our team versus an 80% Virgil van Dijk in our team is the reason why he was and might still be the best center half in the entire world of football. He is so good the last month or so. And that being switched on from that corner, because I believe it was the 3rd corner in quick succession, just bang, 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 corner, to be alive to that flick on going to the back post. It's huge for us. And if Virgil's playing that good, that gives me belief that my optimistic view that we can be in a title challenge this year is actually a realistic way of thinking.
He's added some humility, hasn't he, Kev? Where probably the Virgil of the title winning side was a bit more flamboyant. You know, he would like head the ball back to himself and do little flicks because he had that extra yard of pace. This year, he can still read the game well. He can still, I mean, we'll talk about the pass he does, which nearly sets up one of the best goals of the season because it's outrageous, this passing range. But he has this year definitely gone back to the, this needs to go out the ground. It's going out the ground. I don't care if it doesn't look flashy.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few times now where he's just come across behind Matip and just gone, this is going in the crowd. I don't really care. We'll defend it again. I'm not going to try and, which last year at times he was trying to do the clever pass and sometimes going, just put your foot through it. Just do the Jamie Carragher style defending, which is not pretty, but just get it out. And then when you've got a bit more time on the ball, as we saw, he then does a ridiculous switch, which puts it onto Mo Salah's foot on the right wing, who then nearly puts Darwin in for what would have been one of the best goals you've ever seen. You know, it's just nice to see we've got that back.
I thought all around today he was outstanding. Defensively, he was brilliant. Brian Mbeumo, Brentford, and Wizza as well. I think they're two outstanding forwards. But Brian Mbeumo especially, he's in brilliant form. He's strong, he's quick, he knows his game, and Brentford know how to use him. You have to be alive, massively alive with players like that. And there were some of the defending that Virgil did today where he just matched the stride and nicked the ball out for a corner and just dealt with it after. It was brilliant. It was imperious. It was if you went on YouTube and ended up going down rabbit holes, you'll come across a rabbit hole with Paolo Maldini and Franco Baresi and all of these players. Maldini made a living on those kind of tackles. Virgil today was simply the best version of him I've seen in a long, long time. Read the game brilliantly, calm, assured. Range of passing was outstanding. Did the right thing at the right time when it needed to happen. He was hands down, easily the best player on the pitch, and it's not even close. And we had some good performances today. There was a few players that you'd have in the discussion for the honourable mentions, but for me, he was hands down man of the match. It was exactly the type of performance you needed to round off this block of games, and he was leading from the front. Proper captain's performance. Call it what you like. He was at his. That was him at his best today.
I think that's the key. I think that's the key word: captain performance. I do wonder, with leadership going from Henderson and Milner, others had to step up to be the new leadership group. And for some people, we saw it with. Listen, I think Sam Cooper is one of the great centre backs we had at Liverpool. Captain weighed very heavy on him, and it had to be taken off him. And he was a much better player once he took it off him. I think for Virgil, it just feels like it's almost like it's elevating him to go, yes, I should be. This is where I should be. I should be the captain. I should lead by the example of being the captain. And I think that's helped. I think it's also adds a bit more of a calmness to him. He's not getting as ratty with officials like he was last year. So I'm with you. Yeah. DVD probably is man of the match. We could do honourable mentions. Thought, Trent was quietly efficient. I thought Endo was quietly efficient. I thought Darwin again had the number 9 performance you want from him. It's
Joel Matip.
Joel Matip, excellent again, and
especially with that yellow.
Yeah. Also, touch with Joel Matip. He's doing a lot back to back at the moment, which we don't. Let's be honest. We never thought we'd be saying this again. Joel Matip's doing a lot of back to back, but he is doing back to back, and it isn't really hindering him too much. The good thing is, I do think the international breaks come at the perfect time for the squad. Yeah. Well, we can get some players back. And like to the Joel Matip, you can also stick him in an ice bath or an oxygen tent for 2 weeks now. Just stay fit, Joel. That's all we need. Just stay like this. Because this is the Joel Matip we all love. So all in all, it's going. Well, quite happy. 2-2.
My honourable mention is Alisson Becker.
Yeah, good job.
He's saving the first half when it happened, and that's the kind of save that makes it a striker against another goalkeeper rounds him and slots it, or is more confident. When you're going against Becker, you know that you have to be perfect, and he's in strikers' heads. He's that's how good he is. he's living rent free in Brian Buemo's head after that.
Bit like how De Gea was, Prime De Gea was for us, where every player would go, I need to put this in the top corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's Use has got it nailed there. He makes the hard stuff just look normal, just look easy.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a absolute preponderance of goalkeepers in this league that make the easy things look hard, and the hard things are goals. You look at Onana, you look at Pickford, you look at Ramsdale, Raya, Sanchez, all of these goalkeepers that make what should be an easy catch and quick release to start a counterattack. They turn it into some big camera save, but then when the difficult stuff comes, it's just a goal.
Yeah. I've said it before, but the way we're describing Alisson is how my dad and my granddad would describe Ray Clements, which was made everything look routine. It'd be like to Pete Shilton, it's like, oh, this world-class stretch, and they go, and everyone's go, but Ray Clements just catches that. Why? Because that's just what he does. Alisson is like that. I think that's why his highlight reels sometimes don't always look amazing. I mean, we've got obviously people that's probably know more goalkeeping those, but the big thing with Alisson, footwork and decision making. His footwork's exceptional, which is why it makes difficult saves look easy.
Yeah. And
he gets himself positioned in such a place that it's so hard for a striker to make the mind up quickly. That's why, you're always surprised when he gets beat. We're so rare now. Like I must admit, the Luton game, I still thought he'd save it. 1-on-1, he shouldn't do, really. It's the correct goal, but I just assume he saves it because that's what he does.
All right, we're getting close to running on to an hour. We got another show coming up tonight. Any final words? I'm just going to jump in first and say congratulations to James McConnell for getting his EPL debut. I was gutted that we didn't get a double substitution in the 94th minute and Trey Neone got to get his first bow. But I mean, what a vote of confidence. He got signed late in the summer transfer window from, I believe, Leicester's academy. We got Neone from.
I had him I had Sunderland in but
okay. Well, he came from some other team's academy. He's been absolutely tearing the ass out of the under 18s or under 16s, whatever level he's playing at. He gets his first chance to join first team training about a month or so ago. Now he's making the bench. Some progress from that kid. So, I mean, that's a huge day for us. He's 16 years and 4 months old. He would have been our youngest ever Premier League player had he come onto the pitch today.
By some distance as well. Our youngest was Robinson, who's now plays for Sheffield United. Actually. I think he was about 17.
Is that Jack Robinson?
Jack Robinson. I think he still. Does he hold the record of Bruce to take it? I know Jack Robinson did set the record at one point. I don't know if Bruce took it off him.
I think Brewster might have.
But it wasn't 16. It must have been at least 17. I don't think there was anyone that young.
I think he played the other night in the League Cup trophy thing. They were playing Barrow. And it was a goal. Anyone would have seen the goal going around him. I think Musolowski scored a belter in that game.
Yeah,
but he's getting some good experience. He's up training with the senior team a lot. So it all bodes well for him. And they rate him highly, obviously. So, but to be honest with you, when I looked at the bench today and I thought, okay, well, Diaz and Harvey can come off the bench. And after that, you're scratching. Mm-hmm. We know that McConnell can play. Yeah, Kwanzaa can come up, obviously. But yeah, it was Oshie makes a point there. It was the EFL trophy. But after that, McConnell impressed in preseason on tour. Looked really good and solid in midfield. He looks like he's going to have a good career, to be honest. He looks very kind of, it reminds me of a lot actually as a player is Conor Gallagher at Chelsea. That type of midfielder who gets about the pitch. He's got a decent passing range. We don't know what he's going to be yet at his age, but he's got a bit about him, And you look at all of the kids who are on the bench today, we've seen flashes from them. Either if you watch the 23s, if you watch the EFL trophy stuff, and remember the pre-season, the club is in a really healthy state, but that doesn't mean that this first team squad can't be looked at again in January. So, there's definitely going to be shows coming up in the next couple of weeks. So, keep an eye out. And I'm sure transfers and possible incomings for January will come up.
No transfer talk.
The only shout I'll do is to LFC women who drew 1-1 away at Tottenham. Paul Kev's had to put up with my stress level since about 12:30 today because obviously I've been watching that and then I watched the Brentford game, so I've been enduring football. But to be fair to women, that keeps them fourth. I think Arsenal's the best place, and they may drop down to fifth. But to put into context for how well the women are doing compared to the previous season, we're now on 11 points after 6 games. Same fixtures last year, we got 1 point from those games. That is some turnaround. And to be fair, Tottenham are in a similar boat. Away at Tottenham's a difficult place to go at the moment. So to be 10 points up on the same fixtures last year shows some return from the club. And they've still got quite a few players that are injured. And the new striker finally got a first goal for the club. So all in all, pretty happy. Don't think it would have made it perfect if the women had won. But other than that, I'm pretty chipper. Unusually.
Matt? Anything
it's I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, this is a lovely, after that Toulouse game, that was shades of last season. That show, that was fucking terrible. So this is all just lovely. It's halftime at Stamford Bridge at 2-2. What looks like it's going to be a bit of a cracker of a game. I can see more goals coming in that. So let's all go and finish watching that. But the guys are back here in 4.5 hours to do the Sunday night show. So presumably Gav, Shawnee, Keith, and I don't know if Emmett will be on it because I'm pretty sure Emmett was at the game today, making it the
third
Plunkett,
trip to do.
The Plunkett Brack Kavanaugh Memorial Trophy, the home game against Brentford. It's Talkin Kop favorite.
And unfortunately, though, I think Emmett's had the best one, which is really annoying.
Well, yeah, it's he got to see a couple of goals at least, but. I mean, just last mention, I mean, it's Movember, so if you guys have any few dollars or euros or pounds kicking around extra that you want to chip into the kitty for that, I know Gav and Shawnee will be mentioning it on the show again tonight, but it is that month, so whether it's for prostate, colorectal, testicular cancer, or for men's health, if you can donate, that would be fantastic, but especially on the men's health side of things, if you just got a buddy that you can reach out to and just say, hey, how's it going? You never know how far that stuff can go because let me just speak for all dudes here and say we're not the best at communicating our feelings and emotions and stuff like that. So you never know who's feeling down. So reaching out to somebody and just saying, hey, man, thinking about you can go a long, long way. So if you can donate, that would be great. But check in on your buddies because we're not so good at sharing.
He's right. He is right. So listen, the Reds are brilliant. Hopefully City does the decent thing and lose, and then we can just all be happy. But until then, we'll see you all later at 10 o'clock when the guys have got another show for you. Until then, take care.